Welcome back to the pack. I think we got the stream going. So welcome back to the pack, guys, and welcome to the Arena Watch podcast. I don't have the correct map up. Just give me a second here. But how do we got Celery here? How do we do last week? I mean this week or whatever.
We did great. This was our first time since Beast Enhanced Week that all of the Arena Watch podcast, now that there's an Arena Watch guild, we do have to specify. But all of the Arena Watch podcast managed to get perfect this week.
What would you chalk that up to?
I would chalk it up to no enhanced HP with 3-turn arena.
So it was basically like two-turn. It was basically like 2-turn arena. We just had an extra turn.
It was 2-turn arena with an extra turn of, buffer. You could just not worry about most things. I did go to 3 turns on at least one match. I didn't keep track the whole one, but I had one match where Elena did not move as I expected, so instead I passed 2 turns. I passed the first turn and the second turn, and still managed to get it all done on the 3rd turn.
Yeah,
So.
I've had a similar experience, to be honest.
Well, no, I passed the first turn completely, and I passed the second turn except for killing Elena. And then the 3rd turn, I was able to finish everything else.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, that's what I attribute to. It was a fairly friendly map, and the fact that there was no HP boost just made it overall very, like you said, it was 2-turn arena, but with an extra turn. So the blitz strategy worked incredibly well. Heroes being boosted is overall a pretty reasonable thing to deal with. Like without the extra HP, it's not terribly hard to deal with boosted heroes, and I had like tremendous I loved using Yangus this week. I one-shot a ton of stuff and 2-shot a ton more stuff using Yangus plus Great Dragon or Yangus plus Rough, and it was he one-shot a bunch of Dragon Lords for me. He's just a monster for neutral damage. It's bedtime. Why do we stream so late? This is just when we tend to do it. It is bedtime.
I mean, it's not late for us, is it? It's just late for Europe.
It was. And it's late for
East Coast, kind of.
East Coast, yeah. Well, at least East Coast is not late. But...
Here we go. Now I got more light shining at my face. There we go. We'll have to see if Trop will manage to pop in. I did want to hear from him about some stuff, but were there any challenges this week, and what were they?
I did not have any particularly crazy buckets. I know Trop said he did a bucket on the last day with like a Max Stark, Max Zoma, which used to be, pretty whale indicative, but it's not terribly scary anymore. But Trop also doesn't really have whoosh damage, so interesting to see how he handled that. Probably just KSS, I would guess. KSS, the Metal Dragon, something like that. But no, I did not really have any. I ran one of I ran one team almost every match and a secondary team maybe like twice. But my primary team was Great Dragon, Yangus, either Ruff or Jessica, depending on enemy resistances. Boreal, and then either Kiefer or Claria, depending on enemy resistances. Usually Kiefer. I think I used Claria like twice.
Right. So, did you took on like Dolmagus and Elena teams, right?
I did not see Dolmagus at all. I wasn't specifically avoiding him, but I just did not see very many teams with him. I did face a lot of Elena. I target Elena, so.
But do you have two separate teams for one obviously facing Elena, one not facing her, or?
Usually I just kind of swap out King She Slime. I did not end up using King She Slime. I think I might have used him like on the bot matches and maybe a few other matches. Like I think there was one where I went up against an entirely Sizz weak team that I put in King She Slime for. But on the whole, I expected to use King She Slime, but it just it wasn't worth it with the weight because I really only wanted to use 150 weight, and Great Dragon plus Boreal was such a strong combination, and Crack was such a strong element for my buckets. I was always facing Crack weak or Crack neutral teams. That it was just never worth it for me to swap out to King She Slime. Again, mine is also only one awake, so I don't feel the need to, put a King She Slime in every match. But it just wasn't working for the weight and the matchups that I had compared to just running Great Dragon. So this week. No, I didn't really change. The one thing I usually did was, and I did do this, I think maybe every single time I faced Elena, is instead of running Kiefer in my second A spot, I switched to Vendor Ghost. And Vendor Ghost was there purely to finish off Elena at the end of turn 1, so I didn't have to deal with her on turn 2. And the rest of my team stayed the same, so that, it was just the one, because with Great Dragon, I think Great Dragon plus Vendor Ghost 2 shots her, but I did have Boreal just to be safe. I think maybe if it was a high awake or they're running like Okeanos on her, it could need all 3 to take her out, because my Vendor Ghost Kazam is at like +7 because I ran out of books and gold.
Looks like we got Zar, Tengetsu, and Evening. Sharkai here. So that's not bad. All right. I think for me, the way I dealt with Elena or Dolmagus, I mean, for me, Jessica dealt with Dolmagus just by herself, with the help of my own Dolmagus. So their Dolmagus usually thought, oh, I could probably one-shot his Dolmagus. In fact, there was like a 1 awake level 120 Dolmagus will always take out another Dolmagus, or at least think so. So it would always target. In fact, there was like any Dolmaguses that were like 110, I intentionally just wouldn't face them. I just wouldn't face them because I'm like, oh, it might not target my Dolmagus. So I kind of wanted the stronger Dolmagus because it really didn't matter. Like, I could still, whatever he was, I could pretty much one-shot him with Jessica. So I kind of relied upon that. And then for Elena, yeah, again, it was a Jessica. Jessica and Fightgeist, usually. Because the fact that I brought in Jessica means that I couldn't bring in Vendor Ghost without, like, screwing up my weights on some of my other units. And I always brought, Dolmagus. I always brought KSS, and then I would have like a swap in. So I could do Metal Dragon or I could do Great Dragon. And when I'm not facing Dolmagus or Elena, I would take Jessica off of my team, and I would bring on Jessica and Fightgeist. And I'd bring on, and sometimes Fightgeist would be like a cub for snooze, but it never worked out this week. I never really needed the snooze. But basically, I took off the Elena and Fightgeist, and I brought on, was it OKM usually? And should have been either Vendor Ghost or someone else, Kiefer usually. Kiefer was a good solid pick this week for an A rank. He was stronger than my Vendor Ghost, so and he had more HP. He dealt more damage and he had more HP and defense, so it was kind of a win-win. Range was a bit less, but more AoE, so that was nice. So I had options this week. So I usually had 2 general teams, and then I'd two types of teams, right? And then I'd swap a few little players in between those teams, but it was mostly the same team. And I was looking ahead for this week and to see what I was going to pick for my team. So let's jump into this week here. Oh, we should say a lot of the guild won for week 47, didn't they? Not just us. Do you figure more people would win this week than they would have won the last Marshall week, or do you think last Marshall week is still gonna be the all-time highest, first place ever?
I haven't checked. I haven't checked what number. Going into today, I don't know if we were at 50 or more than 50.
I feel like it was less. That's what shocked me, because I was like, but this is like a return to form. And you don't have like 3 turn, like you still could default to the 3 turn. So it was the best of both worlds, kind of.
Yeah, that's it does kind of surprise me that this week would be lower than the other weeks.
It's just Marshall's so safe. Marshall week was so safe generally.
Yeah, the I guess the one thing is that we've been seeing a lot more. You left her in the other room. We've been seeing a lot more people staying perfect with the increased HP in 3 turns. So there might be some people who, especially day 2 after the bots, if they didn't realize that they didn't have that increased HP, and they took a hit that they'd normally live, but barely die to because of not having that 30% HP.
Looks like
that's one thing.
At 28 people, in first place so far. All right, go ahead. Only one
28
person,
people so far.
And only one person lost 4 points.
Yeah, I did notice. I think it was.
We got some sort of Szechuan.
I think it was I think it was a few days in that there were only 2 at -4.
Yeah, there's only 1 right now, but I'm not sure if that's going to keep up. We'll see.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone else dropped 4 or if any of the
perfects
other.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's. I think this week in particular would be even more difficult to get a -4. Because of the not having increased HP. It's harder for your guys to stay alive for 4 turns, harder for your enemies to stay alive for 4 turns.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I would honestly be a bit surprised if there's fewer perfects than Marshall week, but also, like you said, Marshall is such a safe, high damage and free-to-play friendly strategy that it does kind of make sense that the Marshall week would be overall more perfects.
Someone commented, okay, looks like Shark Eye commented that the map looks annoying. The layout looks annoying. It looks good for someone like Metal Dragon or Slime Tank, but not good for KSS, maybe. You know, if people are in the wings, then yeah. But it could be hit or miss for KSS, but it looks really, I mean, it looks really good for Metal Dragon and Slime Tank. Or even Gem Slime. But yeah.
It's still down in the room.
I think even though the map looks kind of funny compared to the last Marshall week, I still think we're going to have a heck of a lot of people are going to be first. And if you don't score first, you're not getting in the top 50. You're not. Probably. That's probably going to be the trend for every Marshall week, I think. But yeah, I think we covered up this week 47 pretty nicely. I was gonna look up my team here. Let's see. I have a team prepped up for week 47. And I just want to say what my general team is going to be before we start here. So I'm going to be going, just right off the bat, I'm going to be going with Dolmagus, KSS, Metal Dragon. If I face if I face like another Dolmagus, which I'm assuming there's going to be a Dolmagus on every team.
That's fine. She doesn't have.
If it's going to be a Dolmagus on every team, it's going to be the last two are going to be Jessica and Gremlin. Just so I could, make sure I could finish off. He does have more HP this week because of the 30% boost that wasn't there. So, yeah, Jessica and Gremlin. And Jessica's pretty good for this map. Even Dragon Lord is pretty good for this map. If you just see how linear everything is.
Careful. Sorry, what was the question again?
I was just, someone commented about the map, and then I just said all the good units. And then I moved on, and I was just going to say what my team was going to be as a spoiler. Just right off the bat, because we could go in for, like, top picks and everything else later, but I just wanted to, like, throw out what my general team is going to be this week. And it's obviously, it's going to be different if it's facing a Dole versus not facing a Dole. But I'm assuming I'm going to be facing Dole this week. I'm assuming I will. So my general team is going to be Dolmagus, KSS, Metal Dragon, Jessica, and Gremlin. And Jessica and Gremlin are there just to take care of Dole, who has 30% more HP this week.
Yep.
Seems pretty straightforward, right? I mean, Jessica also, depending where she's positioned, she could hit a lot of people on this map. They're all pretty much lined up to be hit, when you think about it.
Yeah, she can't reach the back row.
She can't, but if they were all, if 5 people were lined up in the other row, it could be, it could be pretty harsh. I don't know. Not that I would position her that far forward. That would be a bit scary for her. Assumably, if the enemy moved up, though, she would be just fine here. I feel like those two pillars sift everybody into a straight line anyway, kind of. I think it will. So I think Jessica's going to be decent for this map. For Dole, Gremlin for sure will be decent. You could build him with HP. You don't even need to build him for damage or anything. He's just literally there to finish off what Jessica can't, basically. That being said, Gremlin can be one-shot by Dolmagus this week. My Gremlin has 877 HP outside of arena. He'll have like 1140 inside arena or something like that. But that's not enough. He'll definitely be one shot by Dolmagus. So one way to mitigate that is to make sure your Gremlin is out of range of Dolmagus or has less HP than your own Dolmagus. So those are a few options. Also, don't line up your Gremlin and Dolmagus. If they're lined up, then the enemy Dolmagus will, for sure, attack both of them. So, yeah. Maybe I'm gonna intentionally make my my gremlin have a bit less HP this time around, because it does look like that's gonna be a problem. I'm not sure though. Giving him even a few other weapons. Yeah, I could drop below what Dolmagus has for HP here. I could give the Infernal Sword, which doesn't have that much HP, but it has some. And that should give me a good number there. What about you, Trop? Any spoilers? Anything you want to let us know you're going to be using this week?
I will probably be going...
God, we have all these carpet beetles.
No, you want to wear the apron? You can't kill a unit, and he'll use the CC. Yep. Yeah, the can't kill a unit is a little bit more more difficult this week with that 40% boost. But it is true. He will go for bind if he can't kill, because he's a debuff unit.
But he's going to be hitting more damage this week when you think about it. Even though there's the HP boost, he's getting a 40% boost versus the 30% boost to HP.
Yep. So, let's see. 225. So, I'll probably be doing... Great Dragon, Boreal, Dragon Lord True Form for duel, and then KSS, and that puts me right at 200, so some B rank, maybe Cub or the drag, was it Drag Racer, the B rank Frostbeth Dragon. I don't know. My gremlin's only 4 awake and not rank 7, so probably not gonna be gremlin.
Are you not gonna do the whole gremlin thing?
Actually, maybe. Yeah, so probably either the dragon or...
Would Gas Baggin work for you?
He's an A rank. I would need... I'm looking for 25
I meant if you
weight.
switched around the weights, like, would you be able to do an A rank instead of going for, like... Because I'm doing Gremlin. If I found a dragon, though, a dragon would be nice. A B rank dragon with breath. That would be better than Gremlin.
Yeah, that's the...
But he's not going to do
like
a lot.
Drag Racer, I think it's called, the cross, the crack... He has the cross crack breath, and
Yeah.
he also has a martial, the Ting. He has Ting, which is a martial ability.
Yeah, but he's not fast, and he doesn't have as much mobility. Not that that's necessarily a bad thing. Being fast is not necessarily important, but...
Yeah. So,
But
it's probably one of the better...
Are you... how do you handle Dol Magus, then? Do you avoid him? Like, because for me, I could just throw my Dol in front of Dol, and voila. Like, no problem there.
Dragon Lord True Form should be able to just...
Tank him? Tank a hit? Or...
Yeah, tank him. Tank a hit. Well, and he's not going to be able to kill, so... just... I'll probably just have to put everyone else out of range.
Who do you...
which, if they have their duel, like, in the middle... you can't really get out of range, but also I don't think any of that group. The lowest HP is King She Slime at 1315. I don't think Duel's gonna do 1315. Not unless maybe it's a high awakened one. So
doesn't look like Dragon Lord True Form can resist the hobble, but I don't think it matters, right? Because Dole has to put himself in range of you to bind you.
Yeah. I don't think it matters. So And
So that's good at least.
yeah, so that's really the plan there. Yeah, it's just.
But if you were to
If
fit like an
I'm
A
not,
rank, that
I'm
might
not
be bad.
facing. Well, so that would be my facing duel team. Like you said, anyone who has duel is going to bring him. But in the event I'm up against, like I said, I didn't face duel a single time this week, and I didn't have that many chances to. Like I think I saw a couple of them, but it was like a whale team with a max awake duel, and there were 4 other matches that were much easier than that one.
Right.
So, but if I do manage to avoid duel again, then I'm probably going to try and run King She Slime, Metal Dragon, Slime and Tank.
Oh, you do have that guy. I forgot.
He's only level 91 right now, but and unawakened. But if I do run him this week, I'll use the fragments on him. I have 100 slimes.
Because the pillars are so far away, I am gonna say that Schleiman Tank is my MVP of the week for this map. No, I mean I would say Dole is every week,
Yeah.
but for this week, we're always gonna discount Dole. We're not gonna measure Dole. We're not gonna count him as a MVP. Schleiman Tank is the MVP this week. That's what I'm going to say. Just given how open it is, but also how grouped up people could be. Yeah, it's not bad. Whereas KSS may or may not have to jump in, which could or may not be a problem.
Yeah. So, yeah, and then for my last 2 slots, I could either run like a double A unit or even Marquis de Leon and a B unit. Again, probably like Cub or Dark Cub or Great Cat.
Yeah,
So.
I wanted to like using the what was it, Marquis, but he's always had just too little HP or something. Something's always been wrong for him for me. So I feel like he needs more awakenings or something to be useful. 1 awake is not enough for him. And this map is just so much better for Metal Dragon, I think. I mean, just look at those plus sign shapes. Like look at the layout. There's the potential for like a lot of people to be back to back lined up with each other on some of these spots. That I just think Metal Dragon would be better than Marquis. But it's hit or miss. Like you see this team that they're facing right now, and then you're like, oh no, this is the exact opposite of what's good for Metal Dragon. But I mean, it is what it is. It's like you can't avoid a team like this, and I don't know. Marquis only hitting 1 versus Metal Dragon only hitting 1. I don't know. Metal Dragon is tankier than Marquis. I know Marquis has the heal, but that may or may not happen, right? If someone blows him past that 30%, like if he's at 50% and then someone one-shots him, that's not a guarantee, and I don't like working with variables like that sometimes. So I do like Metal Dragon just a little bit more, even though mine is only really 2 awake anyway. But I feel like that's enough for this map. The Martial boost, having Dole, everything is just satisfactory enough to be able to just win most things, I feel like.
Yeah, the for the team I'd be running, it's such heavy new typeless damage. Plus King Shisai being SIDS, which is almost better than typeless, really. That Marquis as that 4th S rank would really just be a a 4-move, 7 linear range nuke of, hey, I can take out a unit that, while still not leaving Marquis open to any counterattacks. Again, this is a team that would be avoiding duel because it has absolutely 0 ways of hitting him.
Mm-hmm.
So also would be avoiding Alina. It has 0 non-martial. But anything that's not running evasion, it would just be able to blow up everything, would be the goal.
Do we have to worry about Elena much this week?
I think you always have to worry about Elena. She's been really popular. I feel like she's on the level of, again, this is speaking it from someone who specifically searches out Elena because she's one of the units that my general team deals with really well. But I see her a lot, and I hear people complain about her a lot. So, even
Which shocks
with
me, because
Marshall,
it's like we know what it is to take care of, take her out. We know what's necessary, and people just don't get with it. Like I've done this. I used to do this when playing League of Legends back in the day. Like I'd always go for the optimum late game build, but I'd never get there. I'd never get there because I wouldn't pony up and just put like attack runes on my units to get like a little bit enough attack so I could last hit the mobs.
Yeah.
And I got myself to train to last hit the mobs without that little attack rune, and I just give myself penetration instead because I knew that was way, way, way better late game. I'd stack it like crazy, but I just never get there, and I couldn't let it go. I couldn't let it go because I was like, but it does more damage. But I built so hard for this, whatever, yada 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 yada. Like I would need the jungler or whatever it is to gank my lane every time, just so I could have enough support to be able to, have that late game. It wasn't worth the investment. And in this game, it's similar. It's like, yeah, I know you got that crazy unit. Yeah, I know that's your most powerful unit, but he's a physical. Oh, he's a martial. That's not going to take out Elena. It may take out Elena, but it doesn't always take out Elena. And you want something that always takes her out every single time. Like, if you don't take her out 50% of the time and then you cry 50% of the time, like, why can't... You knew the numbers. You knew you were going to miss. Like, you could have missed. And you're like, she needs a nerf. She doesn't need it. She's weak. She's really, really, really weak. Like, she could get taken out.
That's why
that's why
I chose as my target. Like I always say, you got to choose units that you can deal with.
And you don't even have Dole. I have Dole. It's even easier. It's even easier now.
Dole's even easier. Absolutely, yeah. But Elena, she always, because these days, now that blossoming has been out for so long, probably 95% of Elenas are fully blossomed. I saw one this week that didn't have the evasion node, and I didn't actually realize it for a long time because she still went first because she's that fast.
Mm-hmm.
But the 25% boost. But so it's not, the early days there was a lot more guesswork as to whether people would actually have her fully, have the dodge node blossomed or not. And now it's like I said, it's like 95% they have that node. So you can really reliably depend on her going first, moving up 3, not doing anything because you placed your unit so she wouldn't have anything to dash to. And then you take her out, while keeping your units out of range of the rest of their team, and then you have 2 turns to handle the rest of the team. And it's a very reliable and safe way of handling any team with Elena, as long as the rest of the team isn't monstrous. So, similar to, I think building your team to target Nocturnus is a great strategy as well. He's relatively slow turn 1 because he doesn't get that agility boost until his turn, and he's got fairly exploitable weaknesses for Arena, so you can put a lot of frizz and sizz damage and heavy typeless hits to where there's a good number of teams that I see as you go through the week where Nocturnus is their only real threat. As long as you take out the Nocturnus before it can act, the rest of the team isn't going to be able to kill any of your units. So, that's an option for people depending on what they have in the strength of King She Slime and Jessica, along with he's crack neutral, so the Great Dragon Boreal combo. There's a lot of ways you can deal with a Nocturnus while dealing great cleave damage.
All right, let's jump to the chat really quick. I've missed quite a few. Shark Eye said he doesn't expect to perform this week. He might bank on the 3-turn strats this week and bring in Kirill. This is, because he uses heroes, and heroes don't typically have much martial. So, I guess.
Yeah, just Terry and Carver with his dash. And this week is much better for Carver. There's
less covered spots.
2 blocks on the sides, but a lot of you're guaranteed to have a target with Carver.
Mm-hmm.
There is no way that you can place unless it was a 4-person team. If it's a 5-person team, you're guaranteed to have a target with Carver.
Yeah, I think that makes it key for him too. Carver has decent damage for the single target, and he's tanky AF. So,
yep.
I just heard the Marshal, surprisingly, from Terry doesn't do quite as much as I thought it would, even with the boost. Like, if Sharkai had Dolmagus and gave Dolmagus leadership, and then brought in Terry and Carver and another unit that maybe wasn't a hero, then he would be set, maybe, I think. So he'd still have that hero theme, while still being, pretty functional. All right, and then let's keep reading.
He does have a max KSS, so he could run.
There you go.
A market with I don't know if he does have dual, or I assume he doesn't have dual.
Oh, okay.
Because I know he's always trying to save up those gems for there's tons of heroes always coming out.
Okay, yeah. But
so.
Let me keep reading. He said, Tazara Peter said, Marshall Week is going to be super fun. How many kids do you have, Celery? And then he said 2. Okay. Not enough to keep him from the podcast. Well, we've talked about Celery's occupation. That's probably why he has enough time to join us on the podcast. Being on call with Celery is pretty sweet deal, I think.
Yeah.
So just make it so Dolmagus can't kill a unit, so he uses the CC ability. Yeah, we brought that up. Marshall again. KSS is put on vacation request. No. Surprisingly, this is not a KSS week. I mean, it works for him, but positioning for KSS, because he already does so much damage, positioning is so much better than just having the Marshall boost. So having the pillars closer to the middle, or just one straight up in the middle, would be better for KSS than having them to the sides like this. It still works. He's still going to get on pretty well. It's just not the best week for him. If he runs in and someone has Bang, he's pretty much screwed. Bang or Zap, really. Or if 2 neutral hits might be enough to kill him, for all you know. Okay,
Yeah,
Marshall.
yeah, two neutral hits will do it. Carver, won't one shot, even a low weight KSS, but any other hit will. It would take.
Yeah.
Like I said, mine runs at 13, 15 HP, and that's with Lollipop. So running with the slime claws, that marks him down to like 1200. Carver might one shot with. If he's running claw, if he's not running HP.
Mm-hmm.
And so any I guess it's basically just Carver or a heavy Bang physical like Squid or Giuliante would be able to one shot him even through the increased HP.
Sharkai said, I'm going to be stacking as much HP as I can this week. That doesn't save you from crits, but okay. Sar Peter says, Nocturne. Yep. Yeah, we do got Nocturne here. What's up, Nocturne? I'll even drop the crit axe. Yeah, you shouldn't... So Sharkai does this thing where he will run crit axe, I think. Because he does use the crit in Arena as a mechanic. And it's not consistent, but for him somehow, because it's just, I don't know. You know, Elena has a triple hit, so maybe one of those hits can crit, and that's what he's hoping for. Or at least that if this unit doesn't crit, maybe another one does. But I don't know. I don't know how I feel about... You know how I feel about that. I would never go for a crit build. I even have the crit nodes on my trap box. Is it trap box? No, it's the candy box. I still haven't done the crit nodes because, well, I have them. I just haven't put any talent points into them yet. Because I'm trying to prep everything else he has for C and below week, which should be the week after this if we get on schedule again. So I really don't recommend... I can't recommend it at the very least. And Sharkai said he'd personally be avoiding Dole whenever possible, and that's key for him. So I don't know. Yeah, if you have Dole, facing Dole is very easy. Just make sure nobody is one-shottable by Dole that has more HP than your own Dole, so that way Dole targets your Dole. That's the only little piece I would recommend for that. Now we talked about our teams. What are some other permutations? Or, well, let's list off our permutations, and then we'll talk about like other permutations this week. So for me, it's going to be SSS, Hero, and a B rank. So 50, 50, 50, 60, and 25.
Yours would need to be a C. No, a D rank.
I can't do Gremlin. Oh no.
Yeah, you'll have to do a D rank.
No.
Which I don't think there's any D ranks that have a B rank ability.
Yeah, I'll just have to bring Draki.
Yeah, you'd have to do Draki.
Yeah. Yeah, that works.
Which,
it just doesn't have as much movement, but it'll work.
1, 2, 3.
Someone did bring it up, but if I brought my cat...
I don't think there's any safe spaces for Draki. I don't think you can afford to bring him against Dole.
I could afford to bring him against Dole because their Dole would target my Dole.
Yeah, as long as your Dole is in one-shot range, then yeah, you'll still be safe.
Oh, he will be. He will definitely be.
Yeah, so you just have to... again, you mentioned it on your stream, but you will have to deal with less mobility. So getting their duel to move up far enough that your Draki can be in range for that Kasiz will be your only real consideration.
Yeah, that's going to be a
So,
big issue for me, I think. I don't know if I could get him in range for the Sizz. That's why I wanted to bring Gremlin, is because he had enough.
Yeah, one better thing might be just Jessica with Frizz staff.
Yeah, they said the cat.
If you have her Frizz maxed, it'll one-shot duel.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you have her at +10 or not, but that it does. I think a little bit less than Dragon Lord True Form breath. I can't remember if it. And that's it. I'm pretty sure it does with one tension. It does almost the exact same amount as Dragon Lord True Form, his Draconic Flame. So it does about 20% less with no tension.
I mean, I could test it out if I gave him. I guess I would give her the Dark Crystal Staff, because that would be somewhere in between, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you have a decent Frizz roll on your Dragon Lord staff.
I do. I just wanted to test this out really quick while we're still on air so people could know. Because mine is 1 awake, and the only difference for my Jessica is her Crimson Fireball is only at +9 versus Kasiz being at +10, but it shouldn't be too much of a problem. Let's see. So I just face a Dole and see what happens. Or someone else who's Frizz weak. That should work. Alright. We'll face this.
Anyone who's Frizz weak who isn't bloomed.
Yep.
So, but yeah, I'll go through some other permutations while we're realizing that you're bad at math. So...
See, I set this team up this week. So I set the team up this week, and I saw it wasn't overweight, so I didn't even do the math. That was the...
You didn't look at the number. You just
no, I didn't.
Looked for it to be red.
Exactly.
So yeah, we talked about mine being a boss, S, A, and then what was I saying? So that was 50, and then S and B. So that's exactly 225. One that I used to run on a lot of 225s was 2 regular S ranks, a boss, and a hero. Gets you exactly to 225.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, you could run 4 S ranks and a B rank. And then 3 S ranks and 2 A ranks gets you to 220. If you're Sharkai and you're running, you could run 3 heroes and then a Kiefer to stay with the hero theme. It puts you at 10 weight under, and so then, which I think he does a lot, is he'll run that team plus Heal Slime, Bloomed Heal Slime, to get up to 225.
So she hits 4 hits, right, with the Crimson Fireball. And right now at +9 without the Frizz Staff. Of course, this will deal more damage with the Frizz Staff. But without Frizz Staff, looks like it's 1072. Which isn't quite as much as I want. 1072 is alright. When we multiply 734 times, I don't know, 30%. 1.3. We got 954, so I guess it could, for most doles, be enough.
Yeah, as long as you're facing another 1 awake, which should always be the most common.
Or again, I could bring the cat, but mine isn't maxed yet. Yeah, if I bring
which cat?
the Kaleidocat.
Yeah, as one of your S ranks.
There's just no option for the Searing Kassis range if I need it, you know.
Yeah, the cat's nice as a straight dual counter, but definitely not not nearly as good for anything else besides taking out dual.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. But it is nice that we do have something.
So you gonna go down?
Alright, so the weight categories I am looking at here does enable me to do that. Okay.
Okay.
So, what if I brought, I don't know, Halberd or somebody else to hit? That's not going to be enough on Dole, is it? Halberd and who else? I'd need 2 Halberds to take out Dole. No, that wouldn't even be enough. With no leadership? Are you kidding me? Well, maybe. But if I brought Halberd and I was going to bring, I don't know, what, an A rank? No. No, that's not enough. B rank? That still wouldn't be good. Man. Because looking at it right now, I could totally do Gremlin if I bring a 50 weight. Like, I could do... Like, this fits, right? This doesn't do enough damage, but this fits. Dolmagus, KSS, Metal Dragon, Halberd, and Gremlin.
Yep.
And here's the thing. If my Dolmagus isn't dying on turn 1 anyway... Do I really need to one-shot Dolmagus on turn 1 with my other units after... So, my Dolmagus moves up, their Dolmagus attacks my Dolmagus. Do I need to kill that Dolmagus that turn? I don't think so. I could just get away with bringing Halberd and Gremlin instead of bringing Jessica and Draki. What do you think?
I think you can get away with it. The only question is,
because he's going to attack Dole again on turn 2.
Yep. Yeah, the only question, I guess, is basically the rest of the team.
So if like someone takes...
As long as...
damage,
yeah, as long as... no one else is... as long as they're only targeting dual, like if you're against an all-physical martial team, then they should only target dual. Then that will work out fine. If it's anything with, where you have to be concerned about the rest of the team, then... yeah, I don't... I think you're right in thinking that you definitely don't need to take out dual turn 1.
Yeah, I worry if like Halberd gets a tick of damage and he had just a little bit more HP than my own Dolmagus, but enough to be able to be one shot by their Dolmagus. That might be bad.
Yep, yeah, that would be my concern. Would be if he takes any sort of splash damage, and anything that drops him down, but not below your duel's HP, could be an issue. Then the other thing, especially if you're running a team that's, I think as long as you're 2-shotting duel, you're fine. But if you run anything less than a 2-shot, you also need to be concerned about if you outspeed their duel, then on turn 3 their duel could kill yours.
I don't think it would go on that long. I see. The worst it would be is killing Dole on turn 2, but damaging him on turn 1 and then killing him on turn 2.
Yep. Yeah. So yeah, I think honestly Jessica is probably one of the better options. Better than Cat. I don't think Cat's gonna bring enough to the table.
I mean, mine might not. He's like 3 awake and S6.
Yeah, definitely not then.
Yeah, I never bothered with him.
Yeah, I think either Cat, maybe Halberd. I don't know if Halberd even 2-shots without leadership. I mean, yeah, I guess you'd be bringing Gremlin to help out with that. But
yeah, so it would be turn 1 and then turn 2 basically.
Yeah.
Testing out a match here right now doesn't seem like it impossible. It's just a bit worrisome.
Yeah, and you're gonna be dealing with 30% more HP without any extra damage from those two. But like you said, that only puts him at like 900 and something. You said 970.
950 something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think Halberd. I don't know. Maybe with claws. And we are one. I think he'll do, because he does like 686 with Great Dragon leadership and claws, I think. So 20% off of that, he should still do over half. So I think Halberd is probably a safe bet. And then you have the Gremlin just in case you need him to finish it off.
Mm-hmm. Does seem that way.
But I think Halberd should still easily get through in 2 hits.
Yeah. I'm gonna try and give this a shot. I'm testing out a match right now, but no guarantees, obviously, with this kind of stuff. So.
Yeah, Banshee. That's part of pack strategy, is using the AI's preference targeting priority. They always want to kill the unit with the most HP possible. So as long as his duel has the most HP out of all the units that are able to be targeted and killed, the enemy duel and any other physical or martial units will always target duel over the Gremlin, basically. So he really only has to watch out for anything that could kill Gremlin but not duel, or splash damage type stuff where they could target both duel and Gremlin.
Okay, so it looks like I'm hitting 553 without leadership or any sort of... I mean, just the claw, really.
553, yeah.
And
plenty of damage.
I think Gremlin's only hitting 267, but that's... Hold on, let me see. I switched his weapon, so... Yeah, it's 267 with this weapon. I'm gonna give him the other weapon, see what happens.
Yeah, I'd say that's solid. You don't need the Gremlin unless they're a high awake duel, or if they were running a sword like Okeanos on him.
Yeah, this Halberd
provides
pretty much
that
does one shot by himself. Is Dole weak to anything? Just the bind, or?
Paralysis. He's weak to paralysis.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'll go that route then. Because if I could just teach a paralysis breath, that would I was thinking about teaching that to that moth. The moth actually has a decent bit of HP. Mine is only 3 awake right now, level 100, but 3 awake, and he has like 934 HP outside of arena with Okeana's sword and a shield. So I think, yeah, he's pretty tanky, isn't he? So
yeah, that's really solid for a B rank that brings confusion. Oh no, he doesn't bring confusion. He brings
dazzle, which is unfortunate.
Envenom, which isn't great for arena, but blind and whatever
isn't
you add
either, because it doesn't guarantee that they will miss, right?
Yep. Yeah. No, blind is unreliable. I assume it's 75%, but I don't have that confirmed.
In any case, and that's not stacking with the agility, right? And like other evasion, it's separate. So it's like that runs its chance, and then that runs its chance.
Yeah, it's 2 separate rolls. You could hit on the dodge, but then miss on the agility roll to hit. So
yeah, if they added together and it guaranteed like 100% miss, then it would have some sort of use. But as it is now, Dazzle kind of sucks compared to the other abilities out there.
Yeah. So I don't. He's definitely the moth is a really interesting B unit, but probably going to be more for PvE.
I just have no one else to really teach it to. I don't have to build him with HP too, because I don't need him to have more HP than Dole, as I mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
But I think he's a solid option for teaching Paralysis Breath too. I need a B rank that could do that anyway, and he kind of fits the bill. He's fast enough, certainly.
I mean
there's Spike Guys too.
I think we only have one of those, because
I have 2.
Okay, you have 2. Then yeah, I probably do as well.
It might be better for me to give to Spike Guys. Spike Guys already comes stock with Snooze and Kafizzle.
Yeah, Spike Ice is probably a better option. Those are 2 really solid CCs, so adding a third to that, and again, he's 4 move. I think Spike Geist is probably the best CC at B rank. Where you can just completely remove someone in 3 separate ways by teaching him a third one.
Yep. Looks like I can get him.
And he also runs Sizzle, which is solid as a chip damage option.
Unfortunately, they did give him the 5% MP cost reduction rather than the 5% Sizz potency. Damage. Which is not a lot. I mean, 5% Sizz versus like the 10% you'd get from an A rank is not a lot, because this is a B rank, but it's still, they kind of shafted him for no reason. But yeah, the Sizzle's there, so that's not bad. I guess you're right. This is probably the better pick, maybe. I don't know though.
Yeah. Banshee did mention Vera, who of course will be incredibly powerful this week for those that have her.
Oh yeah. KSS will deal with her pretty easily though.
Yep. Yeah. So Vera, Marquis de Leon, you're gonna want to be really careful around, as Trop found out last Martial Week, because they'll do just massive nuke damage, typeless, no resistance to it. But yeah, I think the big thing for this upcoming week will be how prevalent is Duel, how many people were able to save enough after Nocturnus and Seraphy potentially, and Jessica that they were still able to pull on duel. How many of them, leveled her up? How many had the fragments to awaken, which should have been most. There haven't been a lot of great demons for using those fragments. So it'll just be, how well you can use duel, how well you can handle going against duel.
So those are the main picks, though. I mean, like Dole, Vera, KSS is going to be there, obviously, but Slime Tank is going to be powerful. Metal Dragon.
Yep.
Those are like...
Yep.
I would literally put it, Dole's somewhere top, right? But, like, it'd probably be there, and then Slime Tank is my MVP, and then it's Vera, and then it's Metal Dragon, and... I would put Metal Dragon above Marquis this week. That's just me, though. Because I just see this as a linear map, and Marquis goes, he's doing his breath this way, whereas something lateral would be better than longitudinal, basically. I don't know. Those are my main picks, and I think their counters are... Really, KSS counters a lot of that already, because some of them are weak to... I mean, just Vera, and well, Dole's not, right? Because he can't hit Dole.
Can't hit him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So everybody's gonna have to run a hybrid team. You can't go full Marshall on this Marshall week, generally, because it's gonna be, a lot of Doles. Not, again, some people couldn't manage to get him, but those who did will... How far away are you from getting your Dole? How much gems would you have to save?
I think I'm at like 5,500 away from... Oh, not 55, 4,500 away from the pity. What's
our gem income been like recently? Have you done all the event stuff?
Yeah, I've done... I probably have about 1,000 left from the event. I've still got like... Blossoming Door, the EX fights, and the Mega Boss. So I'll probably... I don't think 2 weeks. I'll be really close to getting to pity. Basically, I'm going to be having to make the decision. Do I go for it at the risk of it going all the way to pity like Jessica did, or do I wait till 1.5 anniversary when we get another shot at him, but save up gems for more pulls on the 1.5 banners?
It was weird when I first heard about the 48-hour banners from Mike with a Y. He was saying that some of them were like an actual guarantee. I don't know if it was the 6K or the 15K, but he was pointing it out like it was an actual guarantee of getting one of the two. He didn't... I don't know, I was like, so you mean no general pool? And he said no. And then now people have come out and said, no, there was general pool with it. And I think... I don't know. Did they mean that, like, general pool with, like, if you got an S rank outside of the guarantee, that would include general pool, or... Because I don't know. Mike seems so certain, and I was banking on that being true. Because the 48-hour banner is, like... It was worth it. It was worth it when I heard... that it was a guarantee one of the two. And that already sucks, right? Like, I don't want to get Seraphie. I already have Seraphie when I want Slime Tank, right? So that's already bad, in a sense. But it's still pretty good, right? And the only thing that's bad about this overall is that these units don't have the new Awakening passives. A lot of them don't, or some of them do. But they're not as good as the next generation, Or is it the next generation of units, like Kid Terry and stuff. They have crazy passives and whatnot. Those dragons have crazy passives, So basically it's like, yes, you're guaranteeing these good units, but it's a sinkhole for all your gems for when a new generation of power creep is just around the corner. You know what I mean? So it's like,
you're trading efficiency of awakening a old unit that's been power crept for
but it's
cheap
certain and guaranteed, you know. And now that I'm hearing that it's not guaranteed, but it's like a decent chance, I don't know. It feels like a bit of a jib now, a little bit, you know. Now there's an argument that it's not worth it. I really hope that guy was wrong, whoever brought that up. I hope that Mike was right. I don't know. I'm conflicted about it because it's like they need to start dropping good deals on that for old units, and those by that time actually they're technically old units by then. So I don't know.
Yeah, I think the newest unit out of the group for the 48-hour banners is Duel. I think there's well, I guess technically Rapthorn. Rapthorn's one of the ones. So Rapthorn, Duel, and Slime Tank are and then Nocturnus are the newer units out of those 48-hour banners. Which, I mean, yeah, hopefully Mike was right that the guaranteed S ranks are 50% for either one. But even if it's 23%, that's 46% chance of getting one of the two on the banner. I'll probably still be doing at least the ones I'm targeting, which would be like Duel, Nocturnus.
Depending if it was the way Mike described it or not. Like, if it's the way Mike described it, I'll pull for UKM. If it's not the way he described it, I can't just... Because, I mean, like, my team does have a Max Awake OKM. But that's it. As far as, like, inorganics go, I don't have, like, High Awakenings on my Metal Dragon, and I don't know who's physical units. There's not a whole lot of physical inorganic either when you think about it.
I think the next one is going to be that
Centaur, right?
That Centaur one.
He seemed good, but it seems like there's a trick to him in a sense that I don't know if that range is so wide. I don't know what kind of damage he's dealing. I like it, but I don't know. I don't know if I could afford to grab Centaur. You know, I don't know if I could spare the gems for him because people are saying, you know, Kid Terry's better than... Some people are arguing Kid Terry's better than Seraphis. So it's like, do I have to pick that up? And some people are saying, you know, okay, maybe Diamond Slime isn't as good as we thought, but he's still very good, and he's still basically helps you cheese some stages. And I like cheesing some stages. I still want some challenge out of this game. But if there's anything that I could do to reduce the amount of time I spend on the game every month for clearing stuff that we've already cleared before, you know, like battle roads, anything that's going to help me clear the battle roads, you know, cut down the time on that, would be greatly welcome, because it's like I'm not finding doing the battle roads as entertaining anymore, right? I know that they released Dole, and they showed like a video of Dole doing stage 25 or whatever. That's probably when they expected people to reach 25. Given the recommended CP that they listed for stage 25, they probably didn't expect, you know, when they were first making the Blossoming Doors, they didn't expect people to get that quick, you know, that far that quick. But, you know, AI manipulation being what it is, people are, you know, they pull off these god tier strats that are just crazy. So,
yeah, I mean, that was, I think that was basically our like our heads up from the JP players back before Blossoming came out in global. They're like, oh, yeah, as most players, you're only going to get to 18. Like, you're not going to get past the Sakura Tub and Purvis stage.
Boy, was that wrong.
Yeah, which
we're practically all
I
Batman with infinite prep time and a utility belt. When you think about it, when we have the guides Discord.
Yeah, which also, like, if you've ever read the comments on like the DQT global group on Facebook, there are a lot of people stuck at 20 and a lot of people stuck at 25.
I even had someone on my Discord just mention that he finally cleared 15, but I think he was a newer player.
Yeah.
So he was pretty excited. I didn't want to burst his bubble and be like, well, other players have been at 40 since like a month after it was released.
Yeah. Yeah, no, when you're starting out, even the easy stages before you get to 18 can be too tough for your current box. But there's a big difference between someone who's just starting and someone who's been playing. Most of these people in the group have been playing since day one, month one. So there's a lot of people who they just they haven't put in the time.
It's understandable.
Which stages? Yep. 20 and 25 from the Facebook group had just a lot of, I think there were probably like 30 to 40 comments, and probably all except for like 5 people were stuck at 20 or 25.
Does everyone on the Facebook know about the Guides Hub? Because I feel like that would... Because so many people ask
probably
the same
not.
question over and over again. That's why we made That's why I made the Guides Hub, is because people would ask the same stage. They're like, how do you clear the stage? And then, just a little bit down the line, someone asked the exact same question and would, like, flood the chats with these pointless, when we could just have a single directory for all the, all the videos out there.
Yep. No, it's an incredible resource.
Yeah. But
it's if Trop would ever get around to...
Is he gonna do the Gem Slime? I still want to see Gem Slime. If he manages to get Seraphie, and out of everybody, even if there isn't like a guarantee 50-50 for Seraphie, he should still pull for Seraphie up to like 15k, because he might end up with Slime Tank, So out of all those banners, that's what he should be pulling on. He should at least drop enough to get Seraphie. And if he wants, he could go the full 15k. But like he definitely should get Seraphie. And I know he wants another Dole Awakening, but he should put that off if he has to. But he could go for that second if he wants.
Yeah.
Does the #1 arena player in Global know about the Guides Hub? Who's the #1 arena player in Global? Trop? Yeah, I suppose he's still #1. Elden Ring Visions himself. He's not streaming it right now, so I don't know where he is. We'll assume something came up as in regards to that. I don't know what happened.
If we do ever get to do the Gem Slime clears, there's a few stages. I think almost all of them will be unique, at least on the guide, at least on the hub. None of the videos on the hub use Gem Slime for anything like through 30 at least. I haven't checked higher.
I mean, statistically, how many
so
people
those will all be...
are in Trop's boat where they have Gem Slime? Maybe they pulled for him, I don't know. Have Gem Slime but don't have Seraphie. It's a low...
I think there's one. It's exactly one person in that boat. No one else just passed up. I think even that one guy that posted on Reddit that said like, "Hey, I don't want Seraphy. Who else can I use?" I think even he came around and pulled on Seraphy.
I hope so, man. That guy was he's like, "Why don't you want Seraphy?" Well, I found out his reason too. I forgot what it was. Do you remember?
Yeah, he said
he doesn't like heroes.
He only liked monsters. He doesn't like heroes.
And it was a monster. It's 2022.
Yeah, it was...
People could identify as whatever they want.
They can identify as they want.
I don't see the trouble.
Yeah, no, I don't expect there's a lot of people with Seraphy having the double revival. They had the 10 with a guarantee at 30. They had the original one, and they had the revival with a guarantee at 45. The pity at 45.
Yeah.
So, at this point, I think anyone who wants Seraphy has her.
Maybe deep down, Trop just never really cared.
I think that is part of it. He's, just stubbornly refusing to
How many Boreals is Trop at now? I saw him get another one recently.
More than 6. Yeah.
Well, way more. He's almost at he'd have to be at 150 points on maybe, who knows.
I don't think he has more than me. I'm at 120 or 130.
I think he has more. I genuinely think he has more.
Because he didn't max Boreal till way after I did.
Is he on the dragon leaderboard?
He has been, and then he recently got Dread Dragon, so I'm sure he's still on the board.
Alright, I'll check. That should give us a good thing here. This is what we do on Arena Watch Podcast. This is the most exciting part, is us finding out about Trop's, Boreal count now. There's a few other units that he went over on too, that he spent actual fragments max awakening units and then went
King
over
She
anyway.
Slime. He just got his first extra King She Slime recently.
Alright, ranking top dragons.
I think he's probably around 50 still.
50?
Maybe, yeah, maybe 40 something. I just got him. It's just 5 minutes. Just been... No, that was actually. Let me see where we're at. We're at an hour 22. So that was actually just an hour 15. We spent 5 minutes not drooling about Luke.
Alright. I'm looking at his... Here's the name. He has a mini Great Dragon on Boreal, even though Boreal is not technically mini. If you think about it, he's longer than Great Dragon is. Alright, let's see. He has... So he does have less, but he only has 1 less. So, take that for what you will.
What's he at?
110.
120 or
110.
110?
How'd you get 120 anyway?
I pulled them like crazy from just all the banners since he got on the general pool. I pulled the original one from
What's his agility at?
35th. With sword, I usually run him with no extra agility, just full HP, and he's at 454, I think, something like that.
With my Blizzard Claws, which doesn't have any agility on the rolls, he seems, which is what, only has 17 agility. Okay. Oh no, that's not my Blizzard Claws. Okay, so Trops is sitting at 470 with claws. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Mine's 471 with claws. Oh no, not 471. Mine's 470 with claws. with no agility on the claws.
Yeah, he's the same then. Trops is the same. What stat are you gonna boost first for Awakening Plus on him? Agility? Just
Probably
to break
still agility.
Break a speed tie.
Yeah.
How many points are you gonna put into it? The full 5 or?
Yeah. I mean, he's a gotcha unit, so there's no penalty for going more. I'd just put 5 in agility before moving on to
Attack or HP.
probably HP and attack.
The sad thing is, HP is usually just 1 point, and it's like 1 point of HP versus 1 point attack is not. It's not even. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not very even.
Some
units have multiple points for some of their stuff, but a lot of them it's literally just 1-to-1, which is kind of sad.
Yep. Yeah, it's Boreal attack is nice, but because it's usually only turn 2 that you're attacking, I still don't know if it's better than even a single point of HP.
Really?
I mean, I don't know. You know, you do see units living at 1 HP every once in a while, or like 5 or 7 HP. So.
Do you see yourself living at that
yeah.
or dying at that just by 1 point?
Not at the moment.
Yeah. So the speed tie is the most important thing, and you guys
maybe
got that in spades.
Maybe Nocturnus. I feel like Nocturnus barely kills my Boreal.
We got Thiago in chat. What's up, Thiago?
Hey, Thiago.
We're pretty much done with most of the arena talk, and we're just spitballing here about other stuff, I think.
Yep.
Though, is there anything that we did miss in regard to arena? I don't know if we listed all the permutations after I basically didn't do the math and looked stupid saying what I thought my build would have been.
What you were gonna bring?
Yeah. So
I think we covered them all. You got what you're now bringing, 4 S's and a B rank. A hero, a boss, and 2 S's. 3 S's and 2 A ranks. 3 heroes, an A rank, and a E rank.
Are there any special A ranks this week that are worth mentioning?
Striking Sabercat?
Because I've used him before, and I remember last Martial Week he was just barely competing with my Claria, and it was like it took this giant boost just for him with like Brilliance just to be kind of close to Claria, and Claria still was doing more damage. He of course had more HP and agility, but they both suffered from defense issues.
I think taking a page out of Trop's book and giving him CC is a really solid option. While he can still contribute, pretty good damage on Martial Week. Even if he takes a hit and loses that 20% boost.
Do you worry about having to deal with him?
I don't.
No, you don't. Okay. Like, even with the CC on Trops, would it bother you if you faced him for a ranked match?
No, because he's not a debuff unit, so he won't go for the CC.
Because I faced Trops' team last Martial Week, and it wasn't too hard. And I think Dole would make it even easier. Maybe.
Yeah, that's...
At least for me. Because Dole against Dole is a good matchup.
Yeah, that's... I don't think Sabercat... I mean, the only thing you really want to do is just make sure... he doesn't have any range. So, if it is a cat with CC on it, you probably want to put a unit in range to bait it. So maybe King She Slime with the Frizz Resist. put that within the 4 range. With his, he can reach that 5th tile. So, because if you were to place all your units outside of his range and he goes first, he will go for the CC, which could mess you up a lot more than taking a resisted cremate will.
Huh. Okay.
So
anything else we missed so far? Any predictions? How well people are gonna do? It is a martial week, but it's not as.
It's a martial week.
The map's not as good as the last martial week, but I think maybe
I think between the map, between the map being slightly worse, or maybe not even slightly.
It's not worse. It's better for Schleiman Tank, but it's worse for KSS. So it's like if you have Schleiman, if you have a lot of gotcha units, rather than just the awakened, normal S units, general pool. Blossomed general pool. I feel like you would do better if you were a whale. Maybe this martial week compared to the last one, relatively speaking, compared to other players maybe who didn't have that.
Yeah. But most people are whales, and also having to
we got
account
Luke.
for
I don't know if this is a fake Luke, but we got a Luke in the comments. Watch, Starscream makes a Luke account just to comment, just to troll me.
Starscream alternate account. Hi Luke, welcome. I heard Vectine was extremely gullible.
Well, sad to say that I caught your ruse right in the beginning. That's unfortunate for you.
Yeah.
It's funny because I said this and then he said that right after. Like if you said your thing before I said my thing, then you could have had plausible deniability and been like, see, I pointed out that it was gullible first. That's the only reason that you knew I made a fake account.
It's a prank.
It's a prank, bro. Yeah. But no, I pretty much read into things like that too quickly.
Yeah, I do think that the fact that Duel is out now will make it less perfects than we had the first martial week. Mm-hmm. I think that people. I mean, maybe because it's 100%, people will actually realize they need to bring something that can hit Duel. But it feels like with all the issues with Alina, people don't really read. And I'm sure some people.
The average DQT player just doesn't read. Was that Peter's voice?
That's what it feels like to me. Is that there's gonna be people who just are completely caught off guard by having and maybe I'm wrong. Like I said, this week, while I did not see a lot of Duel. And
which
maybe that was
me.
just
maybe
my bucket.
Maybe you blanked it out of your memory. Maybe you're just like, that's off limits. I'm not even thinking about it. There's just such a better team here that I'm not going to look at that, because I saw a fest of Doles and it was like super easy. Like if you have Dolmagus, Dolmagus is so easy to face. He's easier than Elena if you have another Dole. So it's a conscious Dole beats a regular Dole, AI Dole, by like it's a completely different creature. I don't suppose Dole's gonna be all that good on arena defense for guilds, because players, again, you mentioned it, he has that 100% chance of evading martial and physical. I feel like Dole is gonna train people to be better at facing Elena. Sure, Elena has a high miss chance. It's not 100%. But when they get used to using these weaker units to dealing with Dole, they're weaker units, but it's a guarantee hit. and that's what you need. And the second that they can come to terms with that, I feel like they'll might be able to replicate that for Elena when they're in that comfort zone. But if the real Luke is ever out there, hit us up. First place Luke, the first place in Arena this week, as well as what is he? He is rankings.
He was top 20.
He used to be 15 or something. I don't know. Looks like J Hutch 91 is 16th place. Who was J Hutch part of?
I don't know if he's joined one yet. I know.
Oh, Insane is 12th. And Sharkai is 10th. Oh, Dragon CP, sorry. Okay, let me go back.
Oh, you're looking at...
I was like, what is going on here? Okay, I saw Tuki up there and was like, Tuki's really putting in the work. I thought that guy was, like, fed up, almost. Because he put in too much work in it. I thought he was burning himself out. But look, okay. Looking at the regular list, Luke is 18th. Sharkai is 16th. That's about it as far as people I was eyeing for the guild, but what's funny is like you look Thiago.
Oh, he's talking in chat. Yeah, we talked about that earlier. Duel is a debuff class. So if he can't kill, he's going to go for his bind attack.
Which won't affect Halberd, because Halberd should still be able to breath. Just like, because he'll still be in the same range, so it won't affect him, really.
Yeah, I don't know how the AI determines their priority for bind, because I wouldn't expect him to target Halberd unless maybe Halberd is weak to bind. That might play into the AI's targeting. Since it's a Zam attack and Halberd resists Zam, that's definitely the least amount of damage he would do.
Luke's typing here in chat, OG, the real Luke, please stand up. He is, he wants me to be his #1 stalker, but he hasn't even gave me his social yet. So, if I know you're in Canada, right? So give me your social,
wait, go to channel. Oh, wait.
Your social.
You can't be his #1 stalker.
Yeah, you got to give me your social insurance number. You got to give me your bank PIN, your date of birth, your mother's maiden name, and I'll get back to you on that stalking business.
You're slow, Pack. I've already subscribed to his channel.
Oh no. Yeah, but yeah, we were trying to snag all the best arena players, and we've managed to get a lot of them. I feel like we've closed the gap since I've gotten Dolmagus. I feel like I've managed to close the gap a little bit. If I faced Artia's team again, the same team that I faced last Martial Week, I could beat it this time. I might lose a few units, but I could beat it this time. No, it was whole team was Martial. I would be able to take it out.
Just running with Duel as a distraction.
Yeah, pretty much. I think that's how I'm going to be able to get by facing against some of these teams, because I would have had no way of beating a whale. As good of 200 IQ play as I put out, I think if they were trying to, be sabotage, which is what you're trying to do with your defense team, right? Is sabotage as much as possible. Be as much of a nuisance. And there's two routes you could go with that, right? You could go with, I want to make them lose, or I want to make them lose points. So those are two different strategies, because if you're trying to make them lose, and you're going like a hard aggro, but in the back, like hopefully they run and they lose everything, right, against me and lose the match. But that's hit or miss, right? Like doing that could cause them to win. You know what I mean? If you don't have the right setup for it. But if you're causing them to... Because I could cause a whale to lose points. I don't think I could cause them to lose the match against me. But I could cause them to lose points with my team. I have ideas in my head for doing that. You know what I mean? So it's going to be tough.
Yeah.
It's definitely going to be tough. Skill is going to be abridged a lot. I think you and Trop are going to be a great resource because you did so well on the, despite, not having the best team back then, you did so well on the auto-only week, which you thought would have been a whale's ground, right? Like, it's literally auto. Like,
yeah, that was really an eye-opener for me. I don't know, maybe Trop as well. We don't know since he's MIA. Maybe Luke's kidnapped him. But that was definitely an eye-opener for how strategy, like being able to map turns in your head, is a really valuable skill. That.
Can we all admire how good of a pseudo stalker? How good of a stalker pseudo Luke is, because he made an entire account just to show up on our stream.
Yes.
All right.
Take a moment.
Let's take a moment to. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I was definitely expecting Auto Week to just be all whales at the top, but it turns out just, being able to map turns out, knowing how the AI works, was actually more valuable of a skill than just having stronger units. So that was really, really interesting to find out.
It's crazy because that all came down to placement and the units you choose, which was just nuts.
Yep. So, but I do think that the defensive strategy, I'm now that we have some experience with the 3-turn arena, I'm really doubtful about any sort of cover strat. Like, maybe the only one I can see maybe working is
see, cover strat's one of those things where it's like that loses them points, but it won't win you the match. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm even doubtful about it losing them points.
Well, it could lose them points is what I wanted.
It's that extra turn is so much of a resource, because that was the only way that the old cover strats lost you points was, turn 1 you didn't kill something, and then all the cover units were slow at the time, so the end of the turn they cover something, and then
we didn't have that much high range, high mobility units, quite as many as we have now, right? So. So, with the extra range, the extra damage, I don't see the cover strats working. The only one that I think might have the opportunity to would be, not counting Diamond Slime, since we're not going to see him for a while. But Leary Lantern is very fast, the fastest cover tank. So. Yeah.
You could, potentially run some sort of Leary Lantern strat as one of your A ranks that relies on putting cover up early,
but you'd
especially
need,
if you were doing
Dragon too, wouldn't you? And stuff like that to make that work. Forced Dragon's damage
necessarily. I think Force Dragon is solid. I don't know if Force Dragon does he count as a support? Probably. I'm not positive, because that'll determine if he goes for his damage reduction or not. Is if he does. Well, I guess as long as there's nothing in range, and Force Dragon only has that 5 range.
I could just set him to fight wisely or whatever it is. Does that translate over? Doesn't that translate over to the thing? Because you've seen some units behave strangely before, right? That they normally wouldn't act that way.
Not in regular arena. I don't know if they're changing it for as far as I know, the current arena AI is completely set by their class.
Interesting.
Whether they're
What's Dolmagus?
attack.
He's
a debuff.
He's debuff. Okay, so that makes sense because the last Dolmagus I fought just in a test match earlier while we were streaming was had blunt, and he blunted me, and I was like, okay, strange choice, but okay.
pretty funny that he'll go for blunt over his bind.
Yep. I don't know who gave him blunt. That was a stupid idea. I would rather give him burning breath or something to face off against other doles, maybe, or I don't know. What would you give him? What would you give?
Probably burning breath.
Burning breath,
because
you
burning
could also,
breath allows you to do something against other duels, and it also allows you to hit Sorrow Banesword, who is a heavy dual counter.
And do we have?
And
go ahead.
Sorrow Banesword is the third fastest unit. I don't think any faster ones are coming out and die. But he's right below Peacock and Hybrid. Not counting for Bloom, but he's 408 base speed. So there's not a lot of units that are going to outspeed him. And Duel being able to outspeed, go up and body block, which is like 90% of what he's used for on turn 1 anyway, and take him out for that turn is, and then turn 2 you can use your martial like normal and finish him off if you need to.
Do we have any single target spells that paralyze yet? I know we had the Burning Gale and other things like that was like AoE with the whoosh type ability that could paralyze, but do we have any single target spells that just paralyze yet? No, right?
On a scroll? I don't think so.
Because that would have been nice, because I like Burning Breath, but it is linear, whereas you have more. I know it's single target, but you have more tiles that you could select with the other ability, and you really only need to lock down like Sorrow, or you need to lock down Dolmagus with Dolmagus. So
yeah, I mean with Dolmagus specifically, I think Burning Breath is still
he's
superior.
He's 4 move, so he probably doesn't need the other one.
4 move, and he can move through objects.
Yeah.
So it's easier for him to get in linear breath range than it is for him to be exactly 3 range away. Neither one's particularly difficult. But I think more often having that extra flexibility of being able to be in melee range or 1 range away, vice always having to be 3 range away, is a better trade-off for the breath.
I just wonder, is that what everyone's teaching in JP then? Because
I have no idea. I know that's what Trop had said he was going to do.
It makes sense.
Before Duel came
like,
out.
I can't imagine anything
better. I think if it was just Duel, then there'd be arguments for other things, but because it's Duel and Banesword, I think that's enough to put it over the top, that it's in my opinion the best scroll to put on him. Because hitting 2, and if Banesword is anything like the last 2 anniversaries, we're gonna see a ton of him in Arena.
It baffles me how so many people manage to stuff 65 weight when they really should go lower weight, but they do it. It's shocking, but they do it. Okay, so the thing I hate about Game 8, looks like Game With did it, but Game 8 doesn't show recommended scrolls here quite. There was dqtact.net. Maybe I could check there. DQT... was it? Yeah, DQT... DQtact.net. DQtact.com. .net. Yes, net. So this is like I think it's a damage calculator or something. And it's like a list of all the units in the game. So let's see Dolomegas. Oh, and it's by order of release. How nice. This is going to make it easier to find him. Okay. So we're looking at learned abilities. In the comments, they're saying what people chose to teach him. Okay. So recommended feet position posting. Maho Tone. So, I think that's like... Maho is like magic. Tone, I don't know what that is. Seal the magic? So it's like Kafrizzle? Is there a Kafrizzle scroll?
There is.
So that has 5 votes here. Another one has 30 votes. So two people separately posted the exact same thing. But yeah, a lot of people voted for
Kafizzle.
And some other person put Sweet Breath, but that has 5 votes up and 13 down votes. So we won't count that, I guess. Let's put this in the Japanese. Maybe that'll help. No, it's exactly the same. I don't see anything else. I wonder if I could recommend a post and then see if people will upvote the Burning Breath. But I don't know. So yeah, maybe Burning Breath is good, but I don't know. Some people want him to seal spells, so he doesn't get hit with spells, apparently.
Sorrowbane Sword is also weak to spell lock. So
oh, well there you have it.
That would hurt.
So I'm assuming they want to have a little bit more coverage because there's a lot of spellcasters out there that, you know, the devs were just like, okay, let's inbuilt a weakness, right? You know, other units don't have it. Like, I think Zoma might be immune, or some other units out there might be immune to it. But like spell lock is a decent option.
I do think that most casters
are weak to paralysis.
I'll have to actually.
Zoma's weak to paralysis.
Oh, yep, Zoma's weak to paralyze. But most casters resist spell lock. So.
Yeah, they do. A lot of them do, but I think Jessica's weak to it.
No, she resists it.
Half or fully? Well, I guess it doesn't matter. She would have to be weak to it for it to be relevant, right?
But Jessica is weak to paralyze.
Yeah, I guess JP had it wrong then. I don't know what else to say.
So I think that Kafizzle makes sense before you look at units' resistances. Because, you know, even if you max it out to, I assume it goes to 60%. On a half resist, that's only a 30% chance to lock them down.
I think the AoE ones only go to 50%, right? They don't go to 60%.
Probably, you're probably right.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's only a 25% chance to lock them down. That's a bad gamble for Arena.
Yeah.
Let's see. So Jessica resists it. Rapthorn resists it. Pickled Slime is weak to it.
Nimzo's weak, resists it. Orgo Damir's weak to it. He doesn't resist it like Nimzo does. Malroth, like you said, doesn't have anything there. Seraphy doesn't have anything. Zoma resists it. Dragon Lord resists it. White King doesn't have anything for it. KSS is weak to it. He has a spell. He has Sizzle. Oh, Kaleidocat is weak to it. Emperor Slime is weak to it.
Those huge arena threats, Emperor Slime and Kaleidocat.
Baramos resists it. Queen Slime is weak to it. I don't know why. Valencia resists it. Hargon doesn't. Go ahead.
There's a surprising number of units that have a weakness in terms of the locks that does not affect them at all.
I think that was the whole point, that they were trying to make a few units out there that didn't have as many drawbacks, that they were more priority picks, because you have to make a little bit of inequality in the game for it to be interesting. If every unit was a blob, the exact same blob, there is no game.
Dragon Lord True Form is weak to spell lock.
Interesting, but Dragon Lord Human Form isn't. He resists it. Nera resists it. Archdemon resists it. None of these have been immune so far, surprisingly. They all either were neutral, resist it, or were weak.
It's not a common immunity, but it is a common resistance. So, just from what I'm seeing, I would not recommend Kafizzle. The only thing I can see Kafizzle being used for is
PvE. PvE.
Yeah, if for some reason there was a PvE stage where the only threat to duel was a spellcaster, then you could just reset till you land it.
But it would be better placed on a different unit paired up with Dole than on Dole himself. Maybe. Right?
Probably.
Because wasting his first 3 turns trying to use that ability, sure, you might land it and get yourself immunity to this spell now because they can't cast spells. But you wasted one of your turns in which you were immune to martial and physical, which is stupid. Right? I think. No, he's really there to bait, so I don't know.
He's really there to bait, but for a number of his baiting strategies, you're also using him to manipulate enemy positions with his pool. So
maybe they didn't list Burning Breath because it's just such an uncommon scroll to have, and they didn't want to use it. How many Sweet Breaths have we had?
We have one. We've had one Sweet Breath,
and I've used it on Hypered. And we've had 2 Burning Breaths.
One Kafizzle.
One Kafizzle?
Yeah.
But I don't.
Kafizzle only came from story mode.
I don't see that being used anywhere else, though, right? The Kafizzle, Dole Magus had an argument to have it, somewhat, maybe. So people just didn't see that scroll being used anywhere, so they just didn't see it as a high-value scroll. Whereas something like Burning Breath, people might have just spent it already on units that they like. I'm already thinking about putting it on my my Spikegeist. So there's a good chance, that people out there already use theirs. And I was thinking about, should I put Burning Breath or should I put Confusion, some sort of fuddle on Spikegeist, but I guess I'm going to have to go with Burning Breath. Makes the most sense because of Dole. And this all plays into Arena, so that's going to be interesting. How have you worked on your Spikegeist at all? I know I've been the Spikegeist vicar, pretty much.
I think mine's at 2 awake. I don't maybe 2 or 3. I haven't gotten him to 4 yet.
2 or 3 is already not that bad, honestly. That means you were already trying for him, whereas other people didn't even know about him.
Yep, I farmed him a bit. Not as much as if I was gonna be putting him on the rotation for Arena, but
I really wish I could have got him to 5 awake. Not that it would have helped him too much, but
yeah, he's definitely probably. I think he's top on my list for the next story mode. Either ham or double recruit.
Because the last time I was trying to farm for him, I was going for Claria, so I didn't spend too much on him. And then the next time around, I was trying to get, those 1% drop A units or 3% drop A units or whatever it was. At least a single copy. So I needed to get at least a single copy of those, and I can't remember what else I was doing, but I had priority units, so.
Yeah, I farmed up a whole bunch of blossoming units the last time. The the story mode units that get blossoms. I farmed up a whole bunch of those last time. Just because you never know when one of them's going to be useful. Yeah, but yeah, just looking at it, I think Burning Breath is better for Arena. Kafizzle, I don't think is basically, yeah. I just don't think it's reliable enough. He's better off being able to paralyze, Duel, who he can't hit, or Sorrow, who could heavily threaten him turn one, than going for Kafizzle. And yeah, I don't even know, because I don't remember what Sorrow's other attacks are. I don't know if he'll target Duel or if he would target. He's got Sword Strike and Dark.
Yeah, so he has like the Frizz. I think he has Zam.
Yeah,
I don't
probably because one of his attacks is called Dark Matter.
Yeah, and then he has a neutral. I think he might have to have some sort of typeless.
So it could, even be. It might not help a ton if you spell lock him and then he goes after someone else, because he can no longer kill Duel. Mm-hmm. So, even though he can't cast his attack spell, his A rank Zam ability might not kill Duel, but it might deal a bunch of damage to someone else or kill someone else if they're weak to Zam. And it's just not. I think it's not as reliable of a lockdown.
Off the top of your head, just name me at least one Burning Breath unit. I need to see the Japanese name really quick.
I
think there was a mushroom.
Manowar.
Okay, perfect slime. Okay. I'm gonna look through this really quick, find that name, and see if someone posted about it on the that place where I found the recommended abilities.
Yeah, his attack stat is super high. Passive with extra debuff.
Dude, Game 8's so nice in some ways, but in other ways it's making this harder than Game with was. Why did they even close that down? Oh, it looks like there's a new unit release, Dark Emperor Gana Sadai, along with the that slime that everyone said sucked.
Oh, that's King Godwin.
Is he good?
I don't know what his abilities do. He's the first unit to have an on-death triggered effect. So if an attack within 3 range, so like a rhombus but out to 3 in every direction, kills him, then he puts a curse on all units within that same rhombus.
Not the best ability.
Yeah, which is very.
What if they resist curse?
Strange.
What if it's a boss unit? Because seems like a PvE, thing. So what if it's a boss unit who's immune? Hopefully this is like breaks past immunity. Because it
could also be something interesting for guild defense.
Maybe.
So that's where I would expect to see a on-death trigger be most useful, would be guild defense, where you're expecting it to die. I don't know. I assume he's somewhat tanky, so finding a way to make it so that they want to kill him early instead of just saving him for last would be the trick there.
Let's see if I can't find this. Now I'm gonna search function for this and see if I can't find it in the page. Nope, no one commented about burning breath. Not a one person. Wait, let me hit more. Maybe there's more comments here. Okay, see more. Seymour. It's my good old pal Seymour. All right. Looks like that's all of them. Now let's translate back to Japanese. Hit this and that. No, I'm not seeing anything. I'm seeing mentions of breath, but none of them are the burning breath. Oh, this might be it. Yake. Breath. Oh, maybe that one is, right? That could be it. Sigh of breath. Screaming breath. I don't know what screaming breath is. Because I'm typing in the symbol for breath, but yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I think that's it. I think a few people were mentioning it then. Which power won, the Mahotone or Screaming Breath? Anti-Sorrow. If you seal the spell, you can almost invalidate it with Mikawa. So Mahotone is good. I took Sigh of Breath, though. So he used this Burning Breath, basically, instead of that. Interesting. Where else did someone say this? Japanese. There's not a whole lot of mentions, so it is a bit difficult here. Alright, well, I think that covers most of what I wanted to talk about, and then the future, I think we went really off here. But, but I liked it, because we needed to discuss some of this secret stuff of, like, what are we going to build on our doles and whatnot. I assume you'll get dole, I'm hoping. What's gem income look like these days? Like,
I'll
daily,
definitely,
weekly?
like I said, I'm definitely able to get him. I'll be really close if I get him before the Battle Road goes away. It's gonna be like really borderline. So I may even pool if I do decide to.
Because I mean, like, how many codexes do you have?
Enough, but I like
well
getting
over
1,000.
Oh yeah, of course. But I have like well over 1,000. I don't even think I have to buy XP codexes from event shops anymore, and I still would probably have enough for all time, I think.
Yeah, having passport really loads you up on them.
Yeah.
So, but I would still like to it's a lot of XP to go. I don't remember how many. I'd have to go back and look at Trop's stream when he
It was
when he
like
took
300 or 400 of the gold ones, I think.
Yeah. So, yeah,
and I have like
still
1,000 or 1,200, so it'd be like a third of the way through my stash, basically.
So, I don't know. Like I said, though, if I decide I'm definitely going to pull him, I'll probably just start pulling early, because if I don't get him before Pity, I'll get Pity within a week after the event goes away. With the next event, I'll have enough for Pity.
It looks like JP, at least Game 8, has him back in the top bracket for, not arena, I guess it's just an overall ranking. I don't know if it was a PvE or PvP or both, but their ranking has them in the last slot for the top tier, basically.
Yeah, I've seen him, Banesword, and Kid Terry are the next three in that top, Seraphy, Nocturnus, Malroth.
Yeah, they bumped Kid Terry up past Seraphy recently, and they bumped Sorrow past Nocturnus. So, because some people were unsure, but now it seems like it's definitely Sorrow's ranked higher.
Yeah. I don't pay attention to the order so much as which units are in the very top tier. Just because I assume, and also Jessica, but I assume that anything in that very top tier is something that either makes life much easier or is just incredibly strong in general.
Mm-hmm.
So.
So what I'm saying is, since you're more PvE focused, I feel like since Dole seems to be, at least for them, crossing into areas of PvE anyway, maybe you could probably justify the purchase.
Yep. Yeah, and I don't have any particular units I want from Dai, so I'm not too concerned about giving up some gems now to give myself time till 1.5 to restock, at which point
all right,
probably
let's read through the comments I missed. Looks like Luke said, I sacrifice myself so the real Luke can escape. I'm the Obi-Wan Kenobi of DQT. Yeah, sure there. Okay, fine. Thiago says, there is a Sorrow Breath scroll with Paralyzed, but it's rarely, I think. It's a zap one. Yeah, rarely is a no-go. It's a no-go. Plus, it's expensive to rank up a B rank scroll versus ranking up a C rank one as well. That's worth noting. The odds is all we care about, is locking down the unit. Is not even... Rarely doesn't exist in my mind. Rarely, occasionally, these figures don't exist unless if they're being boosted somehow. Okay, Game 8 is recommending either Kafizzle or Burning Breath or Sleep. I didn't see Game 8 recommending Burning Breath, but I couldn't see it on the page at all. But yeah, I would definitely stick with Burning Breath by just the discussion. Kafizzle would be good on units with passive, with extra debuff. Oh yeah, so there's a lot of units using support spells as well that are weak to Kafizzle. And maybe on arena defense, it might come in handy. I don't even know. Prevent the enemy from buffing or something. Doing a buff spell or a blunt spell. Yeah. Anyways, like VG getting an stun. Who's VG again?
Vendor Ghost.
Yeah, okay. In my opinion. Okay, so Vendor Ghost's makes sense, because Vendor Ghost has a bloom, so his takes him past 50% for units that have bloom and also resist it. Yeah, his attack stat is getting super high. What is Luke? Lukewarm water. And Nocturne had it correct. And I think we could sign out here. I don't know if there's anything else we absolutely did miss. We'll list it in the comments down below. I do believe Celery has to go to sleep. His kids probably are already. So anyways, guys, thank you for tuning in. This has been The Pack. And if you want to join the pack with the pack, go ahead and subscribe down below. If you like this video, then like this video. If you have something to say, write it down in the comments down below. If you want to support the Arena Watch podcast, go ahead and share. If you want to see more Arena Watch podcast, go ahead and hit that bell icon for notifications, guys. This ain't Twitch. Join Kage's gaming Discord server for all the best underground DQT conversations, and join my server for all the best DQT guides. Anyways, guys, this has been The Pack. Signing out. Peace.
Peace.